Folks, Warriors are 5-1. We beat the Rockets last night. However, it was a major heart attack. We had to win the game three different times. Up 31 in the second quarter, up 28 at halftime, blew the lead, kept it in the fourth quarter, kept showing resilience, went to overtime, and we dominated overtime. A great win in the context of no Steph Curry. And last year, we were up 15, we up 20, and we lost a lot of those games. Also, we haven't won an overtime game on the road in a long time. So if you want to see a full post-game recap, we did a watch party last night. I really dove into the post-game. Today, we're going to dive into the press conference after and the key talking points from the game. If you want to see more box score stuff, go to the last video on my channel. This is more about looking forward and what we learned from that game. Randy Silver, Warriors Digest. Thank you to everybody who was at the watch party. Thank you to everybody who's here every day. First time here, new here. That's the same thing. First time here, long time here. It all means the world to me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Please like and subscribe to Warriors Digest. Help us grow the channel. And thank you for helping us hit 7,000 fans. Let's get to 8,000. Can we get to 10,000 by the end of the year? 2 months? Who knows? Bigger things have happened. So the biggest thing to talk about is the tale of the two halves. The Warriors, again, took a 28-point lead at halftime, but then they lost it all. 127, 121. We won in overtime, but we lost that lead. Green and Podziemski both fouled out. We outscored Houston 8-2 in overtime with Kuminga with 6 points. Kuminga was getting to the basket. He was being aggressive. He was going with the left hand. Podziemski in the fourth quarter before he fouled out was getting to the paint and getting with his left hand. We made so many threes in the first half, and then we were on transition. We were getting assists, moving the ball. It became more iso ball in the second half. And frankly, we sucked. We looked really bad. Our defense was relatively good. We had maybe 5 turnovers through 3 quarters, and we had 8 turnovers in the something like that in the fourth quarter in overtime. So that really cost us. But we really, maybe besides the first game of the season, haven't played a full 48 minutes. Against the Pelicans, that first game we played them, terrible first quarter, better second, dominated halftime. This was the flip. Amazing first half, could not have played any better. And then basically, fair enough, give Houston credit. They came back, but we also took our foot off the gas. And why did that happen? Let me make it bigger. Rockets coach Ime Udoka went small, re-energizing his group, flipping the script on the Warriors. We could not really create any half-court offense. Look at this. The second half in overtime, Warriors made 16 shots and only had 6 assists. 4 fewer than their 10 turnovers. 10 turnovers, 4 assists. Sorry, 6 assists. That is not Warriors brand of basketball. That was not what we were seeing in the first half at all. The ball movement became stagnant. It was hero ball. Hield taking long threes. Wiggins taking long threes. Kuminga trying to go at it. Podziemski. Nobody was moving. And give the Rockets credit. They clamped down on defense. But it just shows when we don't have Steph Curry, we really don't have someone to help create. We really need to move the ball. And if they don't, we're in trouble. Now, here's a cool stat. Shows the development of this team. The Warriors have lost their previous 11 overtime road games before extending their win streak against the Rockets to 14 consecutive, 8 last in Houston. So look at that, folks. 11 road games in a row that went to overtime we lost. That's a big mark. That is something Steve Kerr, and we're going to have a press conference quote from him, don't go anywhere, can hang his hat on. What he said specifically, and I actually have more from him. Great experience, Kerr said. To win after Green fouls out, to win without Steph, to win on a night when we completely had the game flipped. It's great to have that game on tape. Learning lessons in the first half, what we did well. Terrible learning lessons in the second half for us to grow and improve on. It's great to feel better because we face that kind of defense. Now, 2 things to talk about, which was big in the chat yesterday, big in the watch party. Moody, let me actually do this. We look at the box screen. Moody only played 17 minutes. Jackson only 13. I know they went small, but Moody had a really good first half, and he barely played the second half. Jackson, as the Rockets went small ball in the second half, really wasn't the right player, so I can understand why he didn't play. But I really have no idea why they didn't play. Before I made this video, I tried to look up quotes from Steve Kerr. I tried to look up game reports. I couldn't find out why Moody and Jackson didn't play much in the second half, mainly Moody. So I will try to get you more information. But again, if you want to see this all comprehensive, I'll put it here so you can pause, you can take a look. Go to the video yesterday. We dive deeper into this. Not the point of this video. I want to keep this lean for you guys. You want to see the Houston side of it? Here you go. Credit to Eason, who really balled out in that second half with 27 points total. Let me go back really quick. So again, it was a tale of two halves. Rockets deserve credit for how they came out in the second half. They cranked up their defensive energy. Warriors shot 36% from the field in the second half, 3 of 11 behind the arc. At one point, folks, the Warriors were 23% shooting in the second half, and the Rockets were 58%. The Rockets scored 43 points in the first half, and they scored 37 in the third quarter. They scored 37 in the third quarter and 39 in the fourth quarter. Warriors scored 38 and 33 in quarter 1 and 2, 25 in quarter 3, 23 in quarter 4. So you can tell the defense ratcheted up. They also maybe took their foot off the gas. And give the Rockets credit. They stopped us being able to move the ball around. Now, who deserves credit is Kuminga for saving the day. And we have some quotes coming. He had a breakout game coming off the bench after Curry, Wiggins, Melton were out. How would he respond? Reports were he wasn't happy about it. Fair enough. I wouldn't be happy either if I want to be a starter. But how you have that adversity to come back from that is big. Do you want to start the game and not play at the end like Moody? Or do you want to not start and then play at the end and play the big minutes that matter, fourth quarter overtime like Kuminga? He helped lead them with Podziemski out, was the main man that they gave the ball to. So, on that note, let's talk about what Steve Kerr, his head coach, said about his performance.
Just beyond the overtime session, how do you feel like Jonathan has settled in these last few games?
It's been great. You know, this is the third game in a row he's come off the bench, and these were his three best games. I think the way he's responded, to a role change is perfect. That's what we expect. You know, the professionalism, the force that he brought. Coming off the bench and playing the way he has, that's a huge sign of growth, and couldn't be more proud of JK.
I don't want him to love coming off the bench. He believes he's a superstar. I believe he can be a superstar. And so as long as you believe that, you shouldn't be okay with coming off the bench. But how you respond is important. You can respond with sulking, or you can just go do what it is that you can do to help the team win and to be great, and that's what he's doing. And so not only should we talk about his play, but we should talk about his maturity, because last year he wouldn't have handled that well. But another year of growth and maturity, he's taken it in stride, and he's had his best 3 games yet this season.
Facts. Best 3 games yet this season.
And so, that's neither here nor there, whether it's, you play better coming off the bench. I don't buy that for anybody. No one wants to come off the bench. Everybody wants to be a starter. That's the game we play. You didn't make it to the NBA if you were coming off the bench, so no one's used to it coming in. And so, if you're going to find someone with star potential that want to come off the bench, send them the opposite way of me. Who wants that? So.
I love what Draymond said there. Nobody wants to come off the bench, but when you do, you got to perform, know your role. And he's showing, hey, put me back in the starting lineup. And maybe this kickstarted his season because, fair enough, it really wasn't starting the way that we hoped. Off the bench, 14 points in the first half, 2 or 3 from distance, 23 points total for the game, 7 of 12, 2 or 3 beyond the arc. And again, that big fourth quarter, folks. Fourth quarter and overtime, but mainly overtime. Buddy still killing it off the bench with his threes, and I got something cool to share as well. We're going to bring this up in a moment. The bench overall has a league best 14.7 net rating, league high 59 points per game, average off the bench, which is wild. 42 of the Golden State's 71. Warriors bench rang up 42 of Golden State's 71 first half points, and then in the second half we really had the lead on that, especially Draymond out, Podziemski out with foul trouble. And look at this, folks. Look at this right here. Players with 33s in their first 6 games of an NBA season. Curry 5 times. Hield this season. And Hield's doing it off the bench, which is the craziest part as well. Where were we? Golden State bench outscored Houston 71-61. It was much bigger throughout the game. It came through. The big knock, folks, the big knock is the free throws. We're like 18th in the league, shooting 75%. We only shot 64% from the line. 64% from the line, a season high 53 throws. We maybe get to the line 10 to 20 times a game. We got to the line 50. Rockets realize if we foul them, they're missing their shots, slow the game down, and we can get back in it. We made 32 of 50, missed 18. You win by 6. You don't go to overtime if you make another 5 or 10. You don't give the Rockets a chance to get back in the game. You got to make your free throws. Green missed 4, but he made a couple in the fourth quarter that were big. Looney, Kuminga, Wiggins missed 3. Moody missed 2. Podziemski 2. Hield 1. So hopefully at practice they're doing 100 free throws a game. Practice because they need it. And then overall, just the last thing from Steve Kerr. I mean, we went up and down. What does he think about the win now that he has some time to think about it after the game?
Good experience in games like this.
Great experience. Yeah, great experience. And, to win after Draymond fouls out, to win without Steph, to win on a night when the game just completely flipped. As good as we were in the first half, they went small and switched everything and caused us a lot of problems. And so it's great to have that game on tape. It's great to feel it because we're going to have to get better when we face that kind of defense.
Basically, quote I already said, great to get on tape. Great to experience it. And now we move on to play the Wizards. Steph Curry could be back for that game on Monday. Realistically, maybe you give him some time because the game that matters is Wednesday night on NBA, ESPN, prime time. Warriors at Celtics. Jason Tatum, champions. Jaylen Brown, Steve Kerr, Tatum. Tatum did not play a lot in the Olympics. Boston crowd's going to be hostile. The journalists are going to bring it up. We need Steph Curry back for that game. If not, Celtics are 1-3s. We're 2-3s. It's going to be a lot of threes raining down in the TD Garden. And hopefully you'll get a rain down the subscribe button if you haven't yet. Or share Warriors Digest with your family, friends, whoever it is. Help grow this channel. Let's get us to 8,000, 9,000, 10,000 subscribers. Appreciate y'all. Please, of course, subscribe, comment. Biggest thing, anything that you think about in the video, stories you want me to talk about, or give your thoughts on what Warriors land is happening. 5-1, one of the top teams in the West. Let's keep it up, folks. 1-0 on the road trip.